Hello all, it's me PrettyTAF, and today I bring you all the damage values of the AUG at every tier and pack-a-punch level so you can know definitively how well it fares in Cold War zombies. But before I get into the values for the video, I'm currently working on a massive database for zombies which you can find in the description and in the pinned comment below at the bottom of the video. So without further ado, let's get into it. In this video I will cover everything you need to know, starting with the damages at tiers, pack-a-punch damages, DPS, TTK, comparisons, and more. You can find chapters in video description for easy navigation. The AUG was a pretty powerful DMR in multiplayer for a time until it got its little nerf, and then it became near enough a pea shooter. So hopefully you got all the levels and attachments for the AUG before it was nerfed to absolute oblivion. When it comes to zombies, the AUG performs relatively well. It has a nice stable rate of fire and deals a decent amount of damage for a good old couple rounds, so it's actually quite a reliable weapon to use. All the damage values I will list you in the tiers are per single shot. So if you multiply it by 3, you get the actual because it fires in a burst. So when you start off with the AUG at common, it deals 51 to the body, 140 to the head, and 12 to armor. Uncommon, you're looking at 81 to the body, 224 to the head, and 20 to armor. For rare, you're looking at 104 to the body, 287 to the head, and 26 to armor. For epic, you're looking at 150 to the body, 413 to the head, and 37 for armor. And for legendary, you're looking at 204 damage to the body, 561 damage to the head, and 51 to armor. Now that we know how much damage it deals at each tier before being upgraded, how much damage does it actually increase by? The values I will explain as a percentage increase from base, so let's find out. So when you start at common, it doesn't have an increase because it's just the base damage it's set at. For uncommon, it increases by 59%. For rare, you're looking at 104%. Epic, you're looking at 194%. And legendary, as always, is an increase of 300%. When you compare its top base damage to other weapons in class, you can see that it's actually one of the lowest damage weapons per shot in the tactical rifles category. So how much does the AUG actually deal when it's pack-a-punch? Well, I tested it at every level and pack-a-punch level to give you the answer. Of course, as your pack-a-punch weapons, they get a damage increase, but exactly by how much? I will now show you the common to rare damages. Feel free to view them as you wish, but I'm going to focus more on the epic and legendary tiers, since that's what you're most likely going to be depending on to survive. So for epic pack-a-punch level 1, you deal 318 to the body, 874 to the head, and 79 to armor. For epic level 2, it's 605 to the body, 1664 to the head, and 151 to armor. And for epic level 3, you're looking at 1338 to the body, 3679 to the head, and an armor damage of 334. The legendary tier at pack-a-punch 1, you deal 432 damage to the body, 1188 damage to the head, and 108 to armor. For legendary level 2, you're looking at 820 to the body, 2257 to the head, and 205 to armor. And for legendary level 3, you're looking at 1814 damage to the body, 4989 damage to the head, and 453 damage to armor. When you compare to the other weapons in class, the AUG still has one of the lowest damages in class. If you want to know how I got the damage values and the logic behind it, then listen here. So the logic for armor turns out to be this. You take the base body damage and you divide it by 4, which gives you your armor damage. For the body logic, you take the base body and you times it by 2.12, which gives you your base level 1 pack-a-punch body damage. For the head logic, you multiply the body by 2.75 because it's a 2.75 times multiplier increase. And for pack-a-punch logic, pack-a-punch levels 1 to 2, you increase it by 1.90 times, and for levels 2 to 3, it increases by 2.21 times. Moving on, I will show you how the AUG fares when zombies are at max health at round 41. I will show you just that, and the DPS and TTK of the weapon as it comes. Because the AUG fires in 3-round bursts even when pack-a-punched, I will show you the full damage output instead. So once you've fully perked up and maxed out the AUG, to the body, it deals 5,442 damage in total. It has a body DPS of 77,730. It takes 6 body shots to kill, and it has a body TTK of 0.35 seconds. When it comes to criticals, it deals a total damage of 19,956. It has a critical DPS of 285,038. It takes 2 shots to the head to kill, and it has a critical TTK of 0.07 seconds. And finally for armor, you deal a total damage of 2,040, and it has an armor damage per second of 29,138. When you use the Ring of Fire field upgrade, it increases the weapon damage by 5. This makes every weapon pretty overpowered for the most part, so I'll show you the damage, TTK and DPS when using Ring of Fire for the AUG. So with Ring of Fire, in total for the body, you deal 27,210 damage. It has a body damage per second of 388,649, and it will take 2 shots to the body to kill, and the body TTK is 0.07 seconds. So for the total critical damage, you deal 99,780 damage. The total critical damage per second is 1,429,191. It takes 1 critical to kill, and the head TTK is instantaneous. And for the armor with Ring of Fire, you deal a total 10,200 damage per burst, and you have an armor DPS of 145,690. So now that we know all the information that we need to know, how does the AUG compare in its damages, DPS and TTK to the other weapons in class? Let's have a look. In terms of how much damage it does at legendary tier per single shot, the AUG ranks last on the list, dealing much less damage than the other weapons in class, losing out to the DMR-14's power. In terms of damage per single shot at Pack-a-Punch 3, it ranks last again, dealing less damage than the rest in class. In terms of being fully papped, perked up, and at legendary tier, its damage per burst when compared to the rest of the ranks, it's second the best DMR to have in Cold War Zombies. This is to have thanks to its burst feature where others can only fire in a single shot. However, it still loses out massively to the M16 because the M16 fires twice the amount of shots per burst than the AUG when maxed out. And finally, in terms of damage per second at max tier and Pack-a-Punch level with all perks, it ranks second. As mentioned earlier, the M16's superior burst fire mode demolishes the AUG's capabilities, but the AUG can still stand tall above the rest of the single shot DMRs. So really, the AUG can technically be the second best tactical rifle to use in zombies, which to be fair is no surprise. The best of course being the M16. Here is the proof, and there is the pudding. And that, ladies and gents, is everything I have tested for the AUG in zombies. I hope you have found the video useful and enjoyed it. If you found it useful and want to see more like this, click like and subscribe for further content in future. If you want to know further information on every weapon in zombies, then be sure to check out my aforementioned database that I'm working on, and tune in next time where we take a look at the Type 63 and its full damage breakdown. Thanks for watching, have a good day, stay safe, and goodbye.